I got into the industry as a trainee production coordinator by chance. I was applying for a job and I needed a bit of money. I'd always wanted to work in TV and I tried to quite a long time, but I had a science background and nobody wanted to know. And then a job came out saying assistant wanted for TV company. I thought, oh, I just need some money. This will be an admin job. And it turned out it was for the BBC and it was a trainee position. I trained to be a production coordinator. 3 months later, I was a trainee production coordinator working at the Beeb. And then 25 years later, I was still at the Beeb somehow. I don't know how it happened. It genuinely just a kind of, I'd given up trying and ended up in the role. The title producer director is an odd one because you are essentially a director. You're in charge of the final product. You write script, you might even do research, you'll go out with a camera operator and the crew. You might even shoot yourself a little bit. In factual TV, it can kind of cover a multitude of sins. The producer bit, I think, is a hang-on of a title, but you may end up discussing budgets, you may end up sort of doing a lot of editorial work, but you are all those things that you sort of classically think a director is. It's that, from start to finish. You'll see the project from the sort of beginning right through to the editing, post-production, final sign-off. You may even have to sign off your legal forms that say you've done compliance and sort of dull stuff like that. But it's one of those things, whatever you think a director is, that is it, and more. You might be a researcher as well, you might be a bit of a budget sort of production manager. It's a good catch-all. It's the person steering the ship, I would say. I think if you're starting out and you want to become a director, producer director, know that that's your focus, know that's your goal, because there's a lot of directions you can go in once you start. I started as a production coordinator and I wanted to be a director. I didn't want to become a production manager, I didn't want to become an editor, I didn't want to become an exec or anything like that. This is what I wanted to do. And knowing that, it gave me a goal and a focus to sort of go for. If you're unsure, great, you may try different things, but it may take you longer and you may kind of get diverted. But if you know this is what you want to do, go for it and sort of learn as much as you can about it and sort of make that your direction. The difficulty of working in TV is there isn't really a structure of training and learning. You're very much on your own, I think. If you can find a mentor, you can find someone that will guide you and hold you and nurture you, brilliant. But there aren't many there because everybody's trying to make their own career. And especially in the increasingly freelance world, you're in here for a bit, you're in there for a bit, you're in a different company for a bit, you're in different cities. So that, I think, is a difficult bit. You're kind of finding your own way far too much of the time, I think, compared to many other industries. And I've worked in other sectors, and there is sort of mentorship. So there used to be traineeships, but they're few and far between. And so you have to make your own way. And I think that can leave people feeling a little bit lost. And I think that is a challenge you're going to face in most sort of job titles in the sector. To work in TV, you've got to be adaptable and flexible. If you have an approach that this is me and this is the way I do it, I think you'll struggle because you'll work with all kinds of people, you work in all kinds of environments, and you have to be able to flex. If you're flexible and you can take on new skills, take on new people and just go with them and work in a new team one week and another week, you'll be fine. If you're inflexible, I'm not saying you won't succeed, you may be so strong-willed and driven that your force of will take you where you want to go. But if you can be flexible, I think you've got more chance of survival and success. Want to learn pro? Come join us on UniPro.